To truly learn what the Agile process is, it is best to understand the types of problems that it's trying to solve. Agile software tries to address a couple of key issues that have been found in previous versions of software processes. First, it addresses the fact that it is difficult in advance to predict which software requirements will stay and which ones will change. Do you remember the story that I gave you of the Duke Nukem 3D and how over 10 years they started from scratch 3 times and never delivered a completed project? Second, many types of software, the design and construction can be naturally interleaved. Therefore, that work can be done in tandem. Third, we identify that the analysis, design, construction, and even testing of applications are not as predictable as we would like. By continual adaptation, we can hopefully better manage the unpredictability of the software building process. We do so by making adaptable changes. Regardless of the Agile process that you look at, there are 12 guiding principles to Agile. They were originally developed being software-focused. However, over time, they have been updated to handle a wide assortment of different projects, not even just computer IT projects, but even in manufacturing and other types of businesses. Let's look at the 12 Agile principles. The first one is often considered the most important, and that is to satisfy customers through early and continuous delivery. This early and continuous delivery increases the likelihood of meeting a customer's demands and contributes to the generation of faster ROI, or return on investment, because they're getting a little something as the project is being developed. Customers, therefore, will be happier because they will see that they're getting value for what they're paying for more frequently. Also, they'll be able to provide you with feedback early on, so you will be able to decrease the likelihood of making a significant change late in the process. The second one we've talked about before, which is the fact that Agile embraces change. We welcome changing requirements, even late in the development process. Agile process harnesses the change for a customer's competitive advantage. Other development processes look to avoid change, especially at the end of a project due to the large change costs that we talked about. But by keeping change built into the system, it's not nearly so bad. Third is the idea of frequent delivery. We want to deliver working software frequently, from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, with the preference being the shorter time scale. Scrum, one of the most popular Agile methods, looks to a 4-week delivery cycle. One time, I was working on a small project. It was just me and one other developer, and we lost the other developer to another company. I modified our delivery schedule to be weekly, and this did a couple of things for me. First, it helped me to deliver lots of little wins to the customers. That way, they felt like they were still getting work done, despite the fact that half the people had left that project. Second, it kept me from taking on a huge request, which would take a long time to deliver and would be much harder to accomplish with a single person. That way, we kept the customer satisfied while we were down a person until we were able to bring in and hire another person, get them up to speed, and then we could tackle those larger requests. The fourth element is that business and developers need to work together, often daily, throughout the project. Agile does not work well where you have traditional business silos in existence. I worked at a place where I could literally walk down to any of my internal customers' office or even cubicle and speak directly with them. I didn't have to go and get permission from my manager or theirs. We shared the data that we needed within reason to make sure all the tasks were accomplished. The fifth component is motivated individuals. Build projects around motivated individuals. Give them an environment and support that they need. Trust them to get the job done. Agile development will not work where micromanaging is at place. Developers need to have the support to be motivated to move forward on their own. Number 6 is a bias towards face-to-face communication. This is the most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within a development team. Large meetings kill productivity, and large meetings often help build up silos, not break them down. So when we need to have business and developers interfacing, we need to have that face-to-face communication. Part of this is because so much communication is nonverbal, and if I'm trying to describe something on a phone, I may not see that you're confused. But if I go in and I show you something, maybe I can draw a diagram on a piece of paper. It works at communicating that information. I can read your facial expression to determine, are you confused or are you liking this? What parts make you more excited? This is all part of that face-to-face communication, and it helps with motivating your employees. The 7th component, and it depends upon what type of project, but in the software environment, we want to talk about focusing on working software. That is the primary measure of progress. This gets rid of stupid metrics such as lines of code or modules completed. We focus on, is something deliverable? Meaning, does it work? Can we get it to the customer? 8 is a sustainable working pace. The Agile process promotes sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, and users should be able to maintain a constant pace nearly indefinitely. This doesn't mean they only tackle hard things or they only tackle easy things. This means they have to be adept at mixing in easy, medium, and even hard tasks. Because if they only focus on the hard tasks, their developers will burn out. And if they only focus on easy tasks, then the business requirements may not be met. You can't run a marathon by sprinting like you would for a 100-meter dash. You burn out and fall off way too quickly, never completing the race. Development of a large project is often like that marathon, spread out over months, not days. We want to focus on continuous excellence, which is point number 9. Continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility. The plan should not be to go back and fix something later. Make it right the first time. Your code should be of high quality and maintainable. Now with that, point number 10 is focusing on simplicity. It is said that simplicity is the art of maximizing the amount of work not done. Focusing on making things essential and workable. Remember the quote that we gave earlier from Albert Einstein. Things should be as simple as possible, but no simpler. This is the idea of that simplicity and is part of making high quality, maintainable software. Number 11 is self-organizing teams. It is believed that the best architectures, requirements, and designs emerge from self-organizing teams. Often self-organizing teams have that higher motivation, which we talked about earlier and is needed. Finally, point number 12 is a regular reflection and adjustment. At regular intervals, a team reflects upon how they can become more effective and then fine-tunes and adjusts its behaviors accordingly. Scrum does this at the end of each development cycle. Because it's done routinely and in a short period of time, it only takes a day or so in general compared to 6 to 12 months of changes, which could take weeks and weeks of review. Because it's a shorter period in an agile environment, that review process is not so scary. And it only takes a half a day to a day, which also helps keep your motivation of your team up, because they know that the thing that they're going to get to next is going right back to delivering on software, which is the ultimate goal.